Today we've got lots to talk about. Princess called us. We also are going to talk about getting your refund check if you have a credit balance on your account when you disembark your cruise. Also, we've got updates from the Caribbean Princess, the Sky Princess, and lots of other things to talk about. So let's go ahead and get started. Hi there, this is Allison with Let's Go Travel Tips, and today is Wednesday. It is September 27th of 2023, and I want to first off ask you to please subscribe to our channel, and if you appreciate these updates, would you please give this video a thumbs up? We need to have you with us, and I think you'll really enjoy coming every day and associating in our community. So first of all, Princess gave us a call. Now, two things to know about Gordon and I. First of all, I always answer my phone unless I'm somewhere that I can't answer it or I'm on another call. Gordon, though, does not answer his phone unless he knows who is on the other end, or he knows that it's a work phone call, that it would be the right number to come from somewhere where he works. So anyway, he doesn't answer. Well, we ended up with a voicemail yesterday saying that for our cruise that we disembarked on July 26th, that we owe $224.90. They just left a voicemail and it got cut, which I don't know why the message cut. When you listen to it, you can just tell like the call was disconnected before it gave any instructions on how to pay for it. So a couple of things about that. First of all, I'm wondering if anyone else is getting calls like that. It amazes me that 2 months after we disembark a ship, we get a call about that. Now, first of all, when we disembarked from the ship July 26th, I knew to take screenshots of our account as we went along, and I did take a final screenshot on that day that showed our account, and it showed how much would be going to our credit card. Sure enough, that exact amount went to our credit card. We double-checked that last night. Now, one thing that I'm wondering if it's from, when we were on board, which is still ridiculous 2 months later to tell me you need to straighten things out while people are on board. But anyway, while we were on board the ship, we kept getting charged extra for excursions. In fact, one morning we were in our cabin getting ready to go on the excursion, and there's a knock at the door, and our room steward is handing us excursion tickets for the excursion that we already had tickets for that we were going on that morning. So looking at our account, we had just been charged again for it. We spent more time at the excursion desk on that cruise than I have ever before, and so I'm wondering if they still have glitches in their system. I'm really hoping they're working that out, but I'll let you know how this resolves. Like I said, I can't believe that you wait 2 months after someone disembarks a ship to call and say you owe money, and we don't owe that money. I'm sure we don't, because everything on our account that was, I went through and made sure everything that we had purchased was there, all the charges were appropriate, and really spent a lot of time going through those excursion charges and everything to make sure that was straightened out while we were on board. So I think they're having a hard time. Another interesting thing is while I was on board the ship just last week on the Emerald Princess, for some reason my account was, what do they call it? It wouldn't work. I went to use my medallion to pay for something, and they said, oh, you can't use your medallion to pay for anything. And so I had to go down to guest services, and it took a really long time to straighten that out. Before I went, of course, I had the card in there that I've had for all these other cruises, and I had made sure that it was there, and I had made some other purchases and it worked just fine. I had a credit back because I had canceled an excursion, and so it took a long time, like 45 minutes, for them to get that all straightened out and make it so that my account would work again. Now, I ended up with a credit balance, so I'm going to let you know how long it takes to get my money back. Be aware that when you go on a cruise that they are not going to. So there's two kinds of onboard credit. I should tell you that first. There's the kind that's refundable and the kind that is non-refundable. When you get it through a promo, when you get it, either from Princess or from the travel agent that you work with, all those kind of things, it's non-refundable. Your military, all this is non-refundable onboard credit now. So if you don't spend it when you're on the trip, it just goes away. You don't get it. But for example, in my situation, I had onboard credit that was because it wasn't onboard credit. I apologize. I had a credit on my account because I canceled an excursion. So that is refundable, but they're not going to put it back on your credit card at the end of the cruise. You have to wait for them to mail you a check, and they say it may take up to 90 days. Now, a Let's Go family member I saw had posted somewhere that they disembarked at the beginning of August, and they just barely got their check. So I'm guessing we're a couple of months out on that. I don't know why they don't just put it back on your credit card at the end of the cruise. I think that would be certainly the easiest way to do it and save them a lot of time in bookkeeping, but for whatever reason, they don't do that. So keep me posted if you have gotten a call from Princess and they say you owe more money, especially a long time after your cruise, but any time after your cruise. I have heard of people saying that they'll get off the ship and then charges will show up. So do make sure that you take screenshots of your onboard account before you disembark, and as you go through the cruise too. So you can either do it in the app, you can see your account, and you can also go down to customer service and ask for a printout, and they have little kiosks also where you can scan your medallion and a printout will just come out of the little machine there. So make sure you stay on top of that to make sure you're not getting charged for anything that's not yours. All right. Now, along with that, when we're talking about excursions here, a Let's Go family member had a really interesting thing happen, which makes me think when you book an excursion, take a screenshot of it. Take a picture of it on your computer. If you're doing it on your computer, a screenshot, just hold up your phone and take a picture of it. Whatever you need to do, because they have a cruise booked and they are having overnight in a port. She booked the excursion for the first day for she and her husband to go. And it looked good for a long time. And now as we're getting closer to the cruise, all of a sudden it shows up that she's going on the first day they're in port, and he has the same excursion scheduled for the second day that they're in port. So she went through a lot of rigmarole, and Princess wouldn't change it. So make sure that when you're booking your excursions, just like with your shipboard account, I don't feel like we should have to take screenshots, but we do. Make sure you take pictures of your screenshot of your excursions. I'm going to do that this afternoon for our Norway cruise, just to make sure that when we get on board the ship, everything matches up correctly with what we've got scheduled. So there's a heads up for you. Now, let's see, what is next? Now, as far as the Sky Princess goes, now we've got a Let's Go family member who is on the transatlantic that goes from Southampton back over to Canada, New England, and it is a 24-day cruise. How fabulous is that? A few things I just wanted to let you know when you're on a ship like this. First of all, he said that the ship is full. It is full, and it feels full because they have been having bad weather. So usually when you're on a cruise ship, if you're new to this, people are usually quite spread out. You can tell a difference of when there's a lot of people on the ship, but generally you'll have people up on the pool decks, you'll have people, in the piazza, you'll have them in different places all over the ship. So as a general rule, it's not quite so crowded feeling. But when there's bad weather and people don't want to be up on those pool decks, it drives everyone inside, and that's when it starts to feel a little bit more crowded. He mentioned that if you're not in the piazza by 8 a.m. for your seat, you're not going to probably be getting a seat. Went to the buffet for lunch, and there was literally nowhere to sit. So I wanted just to let you know that's how it is. So when you get on a ship that's full, and especially if there's bad weather, that's probably it's going to be like. I know that often when Gordon and I are on a ship and we want to eat at the buffet for lunch or something, we really try hard not to go at noon. I know that when the ship is full and people are needing other places, even, at 1, it can be really busy. But think outside the box a little bit. If you are someone that you don't like crowds, go ahead and think, well, you know what, maybe I'll have my lunch at 1:30 today instead of noon. Try to think of some things like that. Another really important thing that I always do is walk around the ship and see all of the places, so that if you go to one area and it is super crowded, and I'm sure this Let's Go family member does this, make sure that you go look for other places to sit. Sometimes there are lounges that are not even, there's not an activity going on there or anything, but they'll be open and you can just go sit there and have quiet time. Or quiet time sounds funny, but that's another place to enjoy if you want to sit there, read a book, visit with someone, just enjoy the day. So really look around the ship and see what else you can find, and that will kind of help a lot. The other really important note about the Sky Princess is embarkation there in Southampton. Apparently, it didn't go smoothly at all. There were very long lines. There were long lines to get your medallion. There were long lines because, you know what, even if you have a package and you have been traveling before, you're not going to be able to get your medallion if you're not going to be home to get it. So you're still going to have to get in the blue lane. And so you have to wait. There were long lines for that. There were extraordinarily long lines for security, then going on the escalator to go up. And the whole time took a long time. So the whole process took a long time. So I will let you know how it works for us next week when we are embarking in Southampton. But it sounds like we all just need to keep packing our patience and be ready for a long wait. The next thing super fast is we've got an update here from the Caribbean Princess. Now, if you follow Dawn and Tony, you probably do. They have been on that cruise as well. But we've got a Let's Go family member who said that it has been a really nice cruise. But she saw my video yesterday where I mentioned COVID, and she ended up testing positive on the Caribbean Princess. And I love the reason that she sent me an email. She wanted everyone to know how wonderful the staff has been and what great care they have been taking of her. Remember in the earlier days of COVID, and a lot of people would test positive, and sometimes people would complain that they didn't get the attention or care that they wanted, or that their food would take a long time to come when they ordered it. It seems like those days are gone. My guess is because they're sailing with a full crew now, so they have plenty of people, and I like to think that there are fewer people that are having to quarantine for that. And so she said that the guest services always calls to see if she needs anything. The nurses and the doctors have checked in. So far, they have given her medicine and lozenges for her cough. Guest services set it up so that she can order from the specialty restaurants at no additional charge. They gave her an upgrade, a free upgrade, so that she can use 4 devices on the Wi-Fi at one time. And even a past cabin steward checked in to see if he could do anything for her. And I just wanted to let you know, I think it makes me happy that if you end up getting sick on the cruise ship and you need that care, it sounds like they're taking really good care of people. This is not the first person that's told me this, so I am guessing that it is fleet-wide that everyone is being taken extra good care of if they come down with COVID, or honestly, I would think with anything else that they need to quarantine or that they need medical care for. Thought that was a bright spot today. Now, if any of you have any questions about cruising, please put them below. And if you are on a cruise ship, no matter where you are in the world and what cruise line you are on, we would love to hear how it's going. If you wouldn't mind sending me an email or putting it in the comments, that would really be very helpful. So don't forget in the comments to let me know if you have heard from Princess, if you have been in the situation of a long time after your cruise, they tell you that you owe additional money, how it's looking for your excursions, is everything going smoothly with your excursions? I really appreciate your input. I'll be talking to you all again really soon. You all take really good care. God bless you. Love you. Bye-bye.